Okay, so you know where to find us on social media, on our Twitter accounts at CTV Harriet. She's the show anchor. I'm hanging in here today. Of course, Harriet will be on air in the afternoon from 2 o'clock to take us through the first round and the entire studio panel conversation around the Monetary Policy Committee. She's on that shift. You need to join her with the rest of our panel to discuss today's monetary policy when Channel Television go live to Abuja for the CBN communique, the MPC that will be read by the Central Bank Chief, Godwin Emefiele. That will be at 2 o'clock, so stick around for that. Lunchtime. And of course, you can put all the entire conversation in at Channels TV or at Biz Morning. That's the show Twitter handle, and of course at B Bolson. Let's look what the market's waiting for right now. Chukuma Anyanwu is the head of research at GTI Securities in downtown Lagos here, and he's joined us via Skype to have a few minutes conversation, wrapping up the show. Chukuma, good morning. Thanks for coming through.
Good morning, Bolson. It's great to be here.
Yes, thank you. It's good to see you. The MPC, the consensus is looking at keeping all key parameters unchanged. Do you agree?
Yes, totally. That's the logical thing to do at this time, because I think, Bolson, that the major focus should actually be on what the fiscal policy administrators are doing to reflate the economy. The Monetary Policy Committee is just supposed to sort of check them or give them incentive by rate increment or reduction. And as at now, when nothing much has been done from the fiscal policy arm, I don't really think there is any need, to tinker with monetary policy rates at this time.
Yeah, so it looks like you're part of the basket of analysts, a portfolio of analysts that says, look, well, let's keep things a little bit unchanged because we don't have the environment from the fiscal space to support Godwin Emefiele on the other side. So if all rates remain unchanged today, what are you hearing from equity investors, whether they are portfolio or retail investors, who are saying, look, this is a decision day for Nigeria. How do I move in the new year as far as my equity portfolio is concerned?
Well, until we get any kind of clear direction from fiscal policy administrator, I heard recently that the National Assembly has made a clear statement that they'll be focusing on trying to pass the budget as quickly as possible. And until that happens, most equity investors are just going to focus on numbers for full year that will be released in another couple of weeks. And I think that will be the major sentiment that will shape the market, at least for the first quarter, largely, because a lot of investors are just gravitating towards that space, cherry picking for opportunities on companies that are very high on dividend payment. And I think that is largely the sentiment that will prevail today and going forward.
How soon are you analysts expecting the full year 2016 or at least fourth quarter numbers to start coming through?
Usually for the early birds, the banks, they will usually start bringing the numbers out from the second week in February. It used to be around March, but most of them will bring in second week in February now, so that because most of them already have audited H2 or Q3 numbers. So audited numbers for full year is usually earlier than usual. So second week in February, we should start seeing numbers from the early birds.
But again, as you said earlier, the key issue will be the budget and perhaps the National Economic Recovery Plan. Any outlook from you?
Well, they've started well. The budget process is tidier than we had in 2016. We are seeing a more business-like disposition from the fiscal policy administrators. They should just match a lot more of the action talks with action. I expected that by now the fiscal policy administrators, the National Assembly should have passed the budget so that the MPC at this point would make more economic sense for a lot of analysts, because right now they are just going to be waiting and reacting. But as of had it been the budget had been passed, then you could have seen a more drastic tinkering in MPC, and that would have made more sense. But like you asked, they are doing better. It's better than last year. I just hope they're able to sustain the momentum so that we can quickly reflate the economy, and get on with the business of making money from this very vibrant economy.
No, you can sit down at the GTI capital trading floor there without thinking about making money. That's why you're watching the ticker tape all the time. That's the one behind you, isn't it?
Absolutely, bossing. That's just what we have to do.
Chukwumanya, well, thank you very much for coming on the program today. We appreciate your time, and everyone who watched Business Morning with us. We'll be back at 1:30 for Business Incorporated, and of course in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, we open the studios for the MPC live coverage. I am Bosin. I do have a great day, and I'll see you lunchtime.